Pia tulimpatia bibi within this time. Sio kazi yangu, sio kuombea mtu kura, lakini sasa tumpatie kura arudi mara nyingine ndio apate mtoto.
Many people see Ndindi Nyoro as a bold and aggressive politician, but his family life is surprisingly very private. Nyoro was born and raised in Murang'a County in the Kiharu constituency, where he later became a member of parliament. His family background was not wealthy, and he often mentions growing up in a modest rural household. Unlike many Kenyan politicians, he rarely exposes his family publicly on social media or in political campaigns. He is known to be very protective of his parents and siblings, keeping them away from political spotlight. Many of Nyoro's supporters know him as the fighter in politics, but very few know him as the family-oriented man behind the scenes. He is married to Sophia Wamboi, a woman who prefers to live far away from the noise of rallies and cameras. The couple reportedly sealed their union through a traditional dowry ceremony in 2019, surrounded by close family and trusted friends. And when it comes to children, Nyoro has built a wall of privacy, keeping that part of his life very far away from the public stage. However, in the harsh arena of Kenyan politics, even personal matters can become political weapons. At one point, Moses Kuria made a controversial remark about Ndindi Nyoro, suggesting that the Kiharu MP had no children, a comment many interpreted as deeply personal attack. That statement shocked many Kenyans for dragging private life into politics. But Nyoro chose silence, never responding publicly, a quiet reminder that behind the loud world of politics, some battles remain deeply personal.
Simona Ndindi sasa ni mtu kiongozi mzima sana. Niliwaambia nitawapatia chakula. Pia tulimpatia bibi within this time. Sio kazi yangu, sio kuombea mtu kura, lakini sasa tumpatie kura arudi mara nyingine ndio apate mtoto. Kazi kugothia garu. One step alafu ingine. Kwa hivyo mheshimiwa Ndindi, watu wa kuchagua kazi ni moja tu. Atumia maila kutosha. Kazi kwa yatumia keharu. Nimekuwa kutosha. Wewe ndokayetini ndio kurutire hau. Hata hapo nimekufunza.
According to Moses Kuria, Nyoro was suffering from a condition known as azoospermia, a medical condition where the body does not produce sperm. In a Facebook post that was later deleted, Kuria even claimed that a woman from Roysambu, whom they allegedly met at a joint in Kilimani, had once confided in him that she tried to have a child with Nyoro but was unsuccessful. Yet Nyoro chose silence, carrying the moment like a quiet wound while the political storm moved on. Nevertheless, long before the political storms, Nyoro was just a boy growing up in the quiet hills of Murang'a County. Like a small seed planted in humble soil, his early life was shaped by modest beginnings and discipline of rural life. He often shares a story from his childhood to illustrate his entrepreneurial beginnings. According to his own accounts, Ndindi says he started his first business while still in primary school around class 4. Coming from a humble background, he wanted to help his family and pay for his own school needs. He reportedly set up a small kiosk near his home in Murang'a County, where he sold items like sugar, matchbox, snacks, and other small household goods. Because he was very young, he had to manage the business after school tours. This early experience taught him about saving money, serving customers, and basic accounting. Upon his successful completion of primary and high school, he joined Kenyatta University, where he studied actuarial science, a course associated with finance, statistics, and risk management. Shockingly, like many graduates, Nyoro never wished to be employed.
So when I graduated from KU, I remember the people who had attended my graduation. I told them to pray for me not to get a job because I was not interested in giving up in terms of doing business. And I never looked for a job, actually. I never sent a CV after my graduation. So I started small businesses, which evolved and graduated to the entities that they are now. So giving up is an option of failures. Yeah.
Now, tell us about I understand from your introduction, two main businesses that you're running.
Yeah.
How did you begin? For example, the brokerage firm and also the technology firm.
Yeah.
And where are they now?
In fact, I started, my genesis is actually based in financial industry because by training I am an economist. And when I was still in campus from second year, I was working for a stockbroking firm. So my stronghold, so to say, is basically in the financials. But what happened is that I had an agency with one of the stockbrokers in town, right from the time I was in campus. I ran it, but I had a branch in Thika. I'm trying to show you how I started the technology company. And this company in Thika, the branch, I was experiencing a lot of problems with the internet. I tried so many providers, but still they were not as consistent as to support the system that we were using. So I thought maybe there is a business opportunity in that field. And that's how I started off my technology company. Around that time again, as fate would have it, I saw on papers one of the telcos in Kenya called KDN, currently rebranded to Liquid Telecoms. They were looking for dealers. So because around that same time I had interest in technology, I applied. It wasn't easy, but I got the dealership. So in terms of, it was actually by default to start an IT company based on the disappointments I got through the service providers I had in the financial company. So when I started the IT company, I sort of engaged my mind more in the IT company and disengaged from the financial company. That was around, I think, 2011 or so, or 2010, end of 2010. So when I think it was actually 2011. So I ran the technology company. Then 1.5 years down the line, a classmate of mine from KU had a good opportunity of again doing financial business through CFC Stanbic Financial Services, a subsidiary of CFC Stanbic Bank, which is majority owned by Standard Bank of South Africa. So we joined hands, and we round now the investors' capital. So that's why
That is in 2011.
1.5 years after 2011. That was around 2012 mid.
Mid 2012.
Yeah. So that's when we started the financial company, and it's growing strong up to date.
What is your turnover in the technology firm and the financial services firm, the stock brokerage firm currently?
Afrisec Telecoms, we have around, in fact, I like measuring the success of my businesses based on the number of people that are employed in there. So in the Afrisec Telecoms, they are allowed 13 or so employees. And though the expenses are quite also huge, the turnover per month could be around 2 million. So in the financial company, where we basically invest on behalf of our clients through SBG Securities, it was formerly known as CFC Stanbic Financial Services. Daily we do a turnover of around 20 million in terms of tradings. Yeah.
And looking at that journey so far and where you are today, what could you tell a young person out there who is in school, who's doing some sort of innovation, and they're not sure, how can they come out and be known and stand on their own?
You know, I think it's also an affair of our backgrounds, because when we go to primary schools, we are told to study hard so that we go to good high schools. Good high schools, we are told study hard, get an A, go to a good university and take a good course. The same in the university, we are told study hard so that you get a job. All through, the focus is usually on getting that good job, well-paying job. But the system has totally not addressed the issue of who actually creates these jobs, because all of us are job chasers. But now, who creates these jobs? These are people like me and I.
Honorable Ndindi Nyoro built investment interest in financial consulting and business advisory. His knowledge of economics is one reason he was trusted with Parliament's powerful budget committee. This shocks many people because Nyoro is seen as technically strong in finance and numbers, whereas many politicians rely purely on politics for influence.
If you give me 20 million today, and I don't know how, I'm not a paragon of knowing everything. You're sharing opinions. I'll choose between, I'll segregate my money. I'll actually put all of it in shares. Let's start there. So it's about now about which ones. I would add the same Kenya Power I have, I would add some. I would actually add 500,000 of Kenya Power. The rest, I would split. I'd buy a few of a company called H.Ndindi, a few. And I'll buy 2 banks. I would buy Equity and Diamond Trust Bank. Those are the ones I would buy.
Nyoro became one of the youngest and most vocal allies of William Ruto during the Tanga political era. During the battles with the government of Uhuru Kenyatta, Nyoro was frequently arrested or blocked from political rallies. At one point, he was physically confronted by police during a political gathering, which increased his popularity among Ruto supporters. In 2022, he became chairman of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, one of the most powerful positions in Parliament. This was shocking because he started controlling billions in government budget decisions despite being a very young MP compared to other MPs.
2023. The first quarter of 2023, the GDP of Kenya grew by 5.5%, Honorable Speaker. In the second quarter of 2023, Honorable Speaker, the GDP of Kenya in the second quarter grew by 5.5%. Honorable Speaker, in the third quarter, our economy, GDP, grew by 5.9%. We are still compiling the figures for the entire year, but it is projected, Honorable Speaker, that the Kenyan GDP in 2023 actually grew by 5.6%, Honorable Speaker, which makes Kenya the 28th fastest growing economy in the world. Honorable Speaker, the economy of Kenya in 2023 grew faster than the economy of China. The economy of Kenya, Honorable Speaker, in 2023 grew by many multiples, actually, the economy of the United States of America. The economy of Kenya, Honorable Speaker, grew not just by our standards as released by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, but also the data released by international organizations and also Bretton Woods organizations, Honorable Speaker, including IMF and World Bank. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank this House for the good policies that we have put in place.
Many people assume Nyoro is always confrontational, but socially, he has a very different personality. He is known among close friends as calm and very analytical, especially in business and discussions. He often spends time with young entrepreneurs and university students discussing business and investments. Nyoro rarely attends flashy and celebrity-style events common with some politicians. In Murang'a, he is known to personally attend local fundraisers and church functions quietly without media. Some residents say Nyoro can sit for hours discussing business ideas with the youth, something many national politicians rarely do.
Na nitafanya kitu pia mimi Mheshimiwa Dennis Itumbi ameleta 100,000. Na kitu kingine tutafanya, Richard kuja kidogo. Mheshimiwa Kabata ameleta 50,000.
One big question that still hangs in the air is that could Ndindi Nyoro one day rise to become the next major power broker in Mount Kenya politics, perhaps even rivaling leaders like Rigathi Gachagua? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep stories.